Hello everyone, this is Siemens here. I'm playing the Tier 5 Russian Premium Heavy Tank, the KV-220. This was on sale for one day in the gift shop, and you may or may not have picked it up since the bundles were a little weird, but this tank, it's basically a heavily armored KV-1. The armor on it's similar to a KV-3 before it got pushed up to Tier 7. It does have the stock turret though, and a somewhat puny gun, which makes that the main weak spot, since the turret's a little bit weaker than the hull, especially if you hit the cheek parts. You don't want to hit any part of the mantlet, you just want to hit the flat parts in the front of the turret, or the sides or rear of the turret. But overall, this tank's actually a little bit more mobile than a KV-1 we have now, since it still has the pre-nerf mobility and track resistance. As you see here, there's a KV-1 behind me, but I'm beating him up the hill. And even down hills, you go a little bit quicker. It's not much, but it's a little bit, and that little bit does count sometimes. I am recording this live. I don't do any voiceovers, so bear with me if I kind of zone out the end of battle a little bit. And the good thing about this tank is you can really take a beating, and with its preferential matchmaking, you only see Tier 6s max, so you don't have to worry about any Tier 7s like other Tier 5 tanks. One downside of this is, since your turret's the weak spot, in situations like this where you need to basically crest the hill to actually shoot, you're putting your weak spot right out there. And the penetration of this gun is pretty bad. That's why I have a decent amount of premium rounds. But it's bearable if you know where to shoot. They're actually cheap enough to where you don't have to worry about it too much. Okay, that guy needs to go. Basically, your roles in Tier 6 matches is basically bullying anything with not a lot of armor, and also basically soaking up some damage, since even at Tier 6 your armor is good enough to soak up quite a lot of damage. There's a tank. Alright, so a lot of people won't drive down these hills, but I will. Only because, unless if you don't frickin' fly and plunge off of them, you won't take any damage. Now this thing doesn't have that much armor, so I'm just going to chuck an HE at it. A lot of the new German TDs, they have absolutely no armor, so you can just lob HE at them as much as you want and not really worry about it. Especially the Tier 10, just lob HE at its turret and you'll be golden. Overall though, this is actually a really good tank for a premium tank. A lot of people look at the gun and dismiss it, but the gun isn't that big of a downside as you might think. And the armor is good enough to where you can basically ignore a lot of the tanks that you're going to be facing, because they're just going to bounce off you. to get those cap reset points. But overall, as you can see, this tank, it does suffer in the pen department, and even the view range is a little low, which is why I equipped coated optics on this. But it's really a good all-around tank, and like the standard KV-1, the armor on it is pretty good, and basically you're able to ignore a lot of the tier 5 and tier 4 tanks and basically just pick apart what you can. You want to leave tier 5 heavies or tier 6 heavy tanks and some tank destroyers alone, since you can't really penetrate them without hitting specific spots or using gold rounds. But aside from that, it's a really good tank. So overall, it's a pretty good match. I destroyed 5 tanks. I got top 3 damage, a little over 1,000, but I did get the most experience since it's a premium tank. And I'm kind of low on potential damage received, but you can get easily 5,000 some matches, especially if you're in a tier 5 match. And actually, I forgot to see credit earning. Credit earning isn't exactly that great, since you do have to resupply the ammunition if you use premium rounds, but in matches where you do a ton of damage, it's not too bad. You still make a decent profit. Anyway, thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also check out my website, wotguru.com. Thank you for watching.